For this nation to move forward, but make we can all unite. Put each man difference aside. Why can't we just come together? See some tribal wars and fight. Who knows better must do better. A source of collective insight may not be exposed to education, but surely know from right. Africans with African pride, fighting to attain our rights. Want no more shedding of blood for this nation to move forward. Africans with African pride, fighting to attain our rights. Want no more shedding of blood for this nation to move forward. Say within a motivation, teach I to be self-sufficient. Don't want to depend on no one for attainment of my brain. Oh, these words are my calling. Children crying white squad tears. Hunger rampant harvest plenty. Ooh, oh, Africans with African pride, fighting to attain our rights. Want no more shedding of blood for any nation to move forward. Africans with African pride, fighting to attain our rights. Oh, 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 oh.
Greetings. This is Lady Pearlz on the blessradio.org. You're tuned into the Pearls of Wisdom show, and you're with me up until the hours of 6 o'clock. Sorry for that late start again. Like I said, there's school rush, school run. So please forgive me. I'm still setting up here. Anyway, this song, African Pride. Yeah, Africa for Africa, for the Africans, African Pride. I'm going to play it back one more time while I sort out myself.
To rule and protect of I life. Oh, man, I'm right. Africans with African pride, fighting to attain our rights. Want no more shedding of blood for a nation to move forward. Africans with African pride, fighting to attain our rights. Want no more shedding of blood for this nation to move forward. But make we can all unite. Put each man difference aside. Why can't we just come together? See some tribal wars and fight. Who knows better must do better. A source of collective insight may not be exposed to education, but surely know from right. Africans with African pride, fighting to attain our rights. Want no more shedding of blood for this nation to move forward. Africans with African pride, fighting to attain our rights. Want no more shedding of blood for this nation to move forward. Say within a motivation, teach I to be self-sufficient. Don't want to depend on no one for attainment of my brain. Oh, these words are my calling. Children crying white squad tears. Hunger rampant harvest plenty. Ooh, oh, Africans with African pride, fighting to attain our rights. Want no more shedding of blood for any nation to move forward. Africans with African pride, fighting to attain our rights. Oh, 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 oh.
Right, let's start again. It's been one of those days. Yeah, you can sit here. Yes, I've got some guests in the studio. You're going to be really, really, really happy with the show today. You're going to enjoy this show. Yeah, so let's start again. Oh my gosh, one of those days. It's one of those days, people. We're human beings, so it's just yeah, we're not going to worry about it. We're going to just enjoy the show and get on with it. Tomorrow's always better, yeah. No, oh yes, sorry. So, see, one of those days, people. One of those days. It all happens in Blessed Radio. Right. Once again, people, greetings. You are tuned into blessedradio.org. I am your host, Lady Pearlz, and you will be with me up until the hours of 6 p.m. This is the Pearls of Wisdom show. The number to call or WhatsApp is 07944431366, and that's 07944431366. And also, if you've missed the show or you want to listen back to the show, you can find us on YouTube, Bless Radio 1. So that's number one. Yeah, number one, not the, word one, the number one.
Okay.
You see, I always smile. See, my brother, bless, he always makes me smile. Even when I've had a rough day, he always does something that makes me smile. So
yeah, I have to, you know what I mean? Because if she don't smile, I'm gonna have a horrible, miserable day.
Yes.
Looking at the stone face and thing. But I'm not saying you got stone face.
No, I don't do the stone face. I always just keep this grin on my face.
Okay.
Yeah, people think I'm mad.
If I said that, you would have said, I'm not calling you mad. But
I would not have. I wouldn't
you know
have.
some good people who say that you're mad, I don't know, but I wouldn't say you're mad. You're just being you. Everybody has to be themselves, and sometimes you being yourself, people might think you're not right. Yeah. But that is you.
Exactly.
You're unique. You understand? As long as you don't go around there chopping up people unnecessarily.
That's right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. But there's people that do these things. Right, yo.
Yes.
So what's going on, family? Welcome to the show that we've been talking about. We've done a lot of stuff. We're going to give you a little recap of what we've been doing.
Yes.
As usual, for those who've been locked on for the first time, this is the show called
The Pearls of Wisdom Show. And
we call it the Pearls of Wisdom Show, not because my name is Pearl. That's her name. All right. Yeah, I'm the wisdom. You're the pearl.
True thing. It's true, because he is the wisdom and I am the pearl.
Right. So that's how it goes. So
yes.
we what we do for the past month, we've been talking about grievement and people who's lost a loved one and how to deal with it, and the teeth in the 9-night, the 9-night teeth them,
and the teeth after the 9-night. Don't forget
the teeth them after the 9-night them. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know what I mean, we all have a conscience, and we all got a heart, and our core and our divinity is love.
Yes.
So you know what I mean, it don't make no sense with the teeth and the 9-night. You know what I mean, it don't make no sense, 'cause at the end of the day, it's all good and joyful for now, but give it a couple of weeks, a couple of months, or even a couple of years, you know what I mean, we will know what we've done. You understand? So don't watch that.
That's right.
Anyway, we've been talking about the teeth and the 9-night. What was we doing last week or the week before?
We did the teeth and the 9-night, and then it was about raggedy, and we was basically talking about, people who may have a disability. That does not mean that they are not capable of being a what's that word? Capable of being an asset to the community. They have their gifts as well. They have their talents that can be shared and learned from. You understand what I'm saying? And people always kind of like judge from the appearance of a person without finding exactly what the person's all about, and what their heart is like and what their spirit is like. They just judge from the outside. And what I wanted to do by interviewing Raggedy is to let the people know who Raggedy was as a person.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was, I enjoyed that very, very much.
That is a good point, because although you have people with disabilities, people try to treat them different and don't give them the opportunities that they will give somebody what they call normal. Yeah. You understand? But sometimes people with disabilities, I'd get rid of the dis and I say it's an ability. Yeah. You understand? And it's a gift. If you seek for the gift in the person, the talent in the person, you will realize that these people with abilities. Exactly. I've got some great abilities. You understand? We also have a brother that does a show on Sunday who has an ability, who has autism. And he does a gospel show on Sunday, which is from, I think, 12 till 2. So we're not discriminating against anybody who's got a ability. That's right. Babylon said disability, but it's not this. Them are this it.
That's
you understand?
Right, exactly.
All right. We are all children of the Most High, regardless of the form that we're coming in. People with ability, or what they say, disability, they are on the planet to teach us how to love. And a lot of people don't realize why they're there. That's right. And it's a judgment for you
when you look at them in their wheelchair or they kind of twist to the left or the right, and you say, "Oh, look at that guy there," that means you don't have the love of God in you. You don't have the love of the Most High in you to realize that they are special too.
That's right.
And for the person to look after them, that person must have so much love to be able to put up and care for someone who can't care for themselves. It takes an X amount of love, and if you don't have that love, once they're in your position or in your area, they'll teach you how to love.
That's right.
So even we have people like Raggedy and other people, and although they are the way they are, you have to look at them and say it's amazing because they teach us how to love, regardless of your position or your mentality or your sickness or your disability.
That's right.
They're there to teach you how to love, and they're also there for a judgment, because you're going to get judged according to how you see them, because that could have been you in that wheelchair. You understand? That could have been you with that disability, but it's how you see it. If you discriminate them, and if you never look like Reggie, maybe you may come back in another life like that, or maybe they could have been thinking about those same negative things and come back like this. So we don't know why the universe works to the maximum. Anyway, that's enough of that. Right.
Yes. So then do you want me to go on what was next, or shall we just get on to what we do now?
Do I want you to what?
Shall I go on to what the other shows were? Or shall we just...
Do you want to?
Not necessarily.
All right then. Not necessarily?
No.
All right then, I will do you a favour then.
Yeah.
Go on with it.
It's on because I've had listen to me, people. Yeah, please let me just share this with you, right? You see, if you don't have self-control
In here?
anywhere,
Okay.
and patience, yeah, and peace within, you get yourself into trouble. Because I've practiced self-control, patience, and peace within, I can be sitting in this chair right now.
Right. We're going to ask our guests if they practice patience too. Yeah, because for you to write a book like this,
Yep.
and to be brave and bold to step out and confront our sisters who we love so much, who decides to put on other things on their antenna, on their crown, right? For you to step out to write this book, you may lose a couple of friends along the way. You understand? So, we went to the seminar, people, and it was very interesting, and I was there right to the end almost. Yeah. Okay, but to me, I'm not being biased, but the best part of the seminar for me was this part when they done the book about before we come extinct. And I'm not just saying it because the ladies are here. I'm saying it because that's what it was for me.
It was a fact.
Yeah, it was for me. It was short. Not well, maybe it wasn't short, but it felt short.
Yeah.
But
because the way they put the information together,
yes, and very professional. Everything was professional.
Yeah,
right. So presentation, everything was professional. Delivery was all right. I'm going to go a little bit more on the delivery because I'm going to use the book to gel the delivery because I'm supposed to intimidate them today. I'm supposed to
really
third degree, but
yeah.
I'm not going to do that today because I want to focus on what this thing is. So we have a book here called Before We Become Extinct. How do I get the confidence to wear my natural woolly hair? All right, and this goes out to all those in the hairdressers listening. Hi.
I'm just doing a big shout out to my brother DJ Snipes. He's locked on right now. Blessings, my brother.
Wagwan Snipes. What's doing? Or in English translation, how are you, sir? Yeah. Right. So, ladies who are man them who in the hairdressers, ladies who are in the hairdressers, this is not an offense to fight you down, right? We could say that from the beginning. This is information that we should know and we should share because it's our ancestral information. So we're sharing it with you. So obviously everybody got to have to do a little thing to make ends meet. Some people got to open shops. You have to set up shop. You have to do something, right? So we understand you have to make a living.
You got to understand to make a living.
Yeah, you have to make a living.
Yes.
Right? So, you're going to help me or you're going to watch me struggle?
It's all going on in the studio right now.
Talk, man.
It's all going on.
As we slowly continue ahead, can we continue with the book now?
Go on. Listen to me.
All right, cool. Right. Back to the touring. Right, so as I said before, we start the show. We're not here to offend. I already done bun all the weave and everything for how much months, right? I'm not going to say I'm going to stop bunning it, but today we're just going to give you information that may help you, right? So big up all the hairdressers and all that. God bless you. You know what I mean? You're doing a good job for your customers. It's all good. All right. Now we're going to talk about the. I see my friend here is so serious and concerned. You can hear the seriousness in there. All right, cool. All right. We've got a book here, right? We want to introduce this with sisters, them. All right, we have two sisters there that look like sisters, dress like sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Smile like sisters.
Yes.
Are you twins?
No.
How far apart are you?
No, there's some years.
Is it really?
Oh, yes.
Put your mic up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really?
No, we're actually not twins, but it was funny because some people have thought we were.
Yeah.
I don't actually see it myself.
No, you seriously look like twins.
But yeah, with different complexions as well. So
Yeah.
it's quite funny.
Yeah, but no, seriously. No,
Really?
but that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Complexion
matter.
doesn't matter.
No.
You could still have twins.
Absolutely.
Whatever. Yeah, that was
the
right.
mic already.
Sorry.
Not you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
Back to the book.
back to the book. Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to ask all the questions, because you had the book longer than
listen
me.
to me. I'm ready to ask questions now. I'm ready.
You read the book, innit?
I'm ready. Yes, because I'm nearly how. Look, where's my page?
Don't try to come prove nothing to me. I can do that to you. Yeah, look.
Because I started.
Hey,
yeah.
it's got colour pictures in there as well. All right.
Yeah.
Right, so, the
Ooh.
book. Well, can you introduce yourself first, madam? And your name is?
My name is Tracy Okonkwo.
Right. African name?
No. Not really.
It's
hard to explain.
I don't explain.
It's
right.
tribal name.
All right.
Okay.
All right then. And
my name is Davina Okonkwo.
Davina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Davina and Tracy.
Yeah.
All right. And you both wrote the book. I'm going to deal with you each, yeah? Because at the end of the day, unless you want to both answer together.
Yeah, we'll answer together. Go back and forth,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, whatever's. Yeah, I'm easy. Whatever's.
All right.
Whatever's
This
easy for
book.
You guys.
Before we become extinct, right? First of all, I need to know: is it's available on Amazon and or can we?
Oh yes. Amazon, Kobo, our own website,
Apple, Barnes and Noble,
Google Play as well.
Yeah, Google Play, exactly.
Yeah, our website is www.Bertie Whiskey Bertie Echo Tommy Harry Echo Bertie Orange Kite.com.
That's a long address.
WeBeTheBook.com.
Bertie, you have to write all these names down.
And that's also our Twitter.
Can you just say?
We the book, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. www.BWBETHEBOOK.com. www.webethebook.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then they're on Twitter also at www.twitter.com. The same thing at the end. BWB the book.
Yeah.
And on Facebook as well. www.facebook.com. BWB the book and Instagram.
Yeah, BE the book.
B the book.
All right.
Yeah.
So, back to the book. All right. This is what it is. Why did you write this book?
Right, we wrote this book because about 5 years ago, or 6 years ago now actually, I cut my hair down to what's called a TWA, what we call a TWA.
Sound like an airport.
Weenie. Yeah, it does. Teeny weeny afro, believe it or not.
Okay.
And when I cut my hair down to a TWA, you just think, oh, it's just hair. You're not really thinking about it. You just all you're embracing is the freedom that you feel. There's this overwhelming sense of freedom, and it's almost on a spiritual level. You just feel like you've actually released yourself from something. I mean, some people think that sounds cheesy.
I understand. I've experienced it myself.
So what was your hair
crazy.
before you cut it though?
Right, so I used to have braids for years, and then I relaxed it once. I think I texturized it once. Had the typical hair breakage that you get when you put rubbish in your hair. My sister convinced me, I've got another sister who convinced me to wear a weave once, but for the most part it was just braids for years. And I just got to a point where I just thought, like, why are we doing so much? Why can't we just leave it? I don't know anybody who just leaves their hair. It's always somehow bonded in something. It's always restricted, freedom compromising hairstyles where you can't just run around in the rain and not care, so I cut it all off, and it was just the best thing I ever did. It was the best thing ever. And then about a week later Davina did it, didn't you, V?
It's so funny though. I think as so-called black women, we feel that we're so unknowledgeable about our hair. So when Trace said that she was going to cut her hair, I literally thought she was going to go bald, like completely go skinhead. I was so clueless. I didn't realise she would just go down to a small afro.
Yeah.
So when she did it, and I started to look on Google Images at other black women who'd done it, I was like, oh, that's it. And that was it. You can't buy that freedom. It's just, you've got to take it. No one's going to give it to you.
Yeah.
You just have to take it.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Absolutely.
All right. So what did you discover about yourself when you cut your hair, or when you, let's say, got rid of the negative energy that you've been carrying?
Yes.
Because cutting your hair is also getting rid of the negative energy.
It is definitely doing that. Something definitely happens. I mean, you know, I'll say to anybody, it's like a release. And I think what I discovered about myself was that, number one, my opinion of me is my greatest almost strength, if you like.
It is.
The most highest opinion of me.
Exactly.
I think we spend so much time analysing and internalizing other people's opinions of us, what other people say about us. And I think we need to spend more time on what the Most High says about us. We put in the book, in I think the first chapter, that in Genesis 1:31, when the Most High made us, because we're the original,
that's right.
he said it is good. And I don't think people meditate on that scripture enough. It is good. I mean, the Most High, he's the author of beauty, the creator of beauty, so clearly what he thinks trumps what anyone else thinks.
Exactly. That's right.
I mean, with a very short haircut, it does take a certain amount of confidence, I'm not going to lie, because I think you're so on display, like your face.
Your whole face is on
display. But then
display.
you see it in a lot of ways. Sometimes I think that's often our best looks, you know, because you can see us now. You know, we're not hiding behind all this hair everywhere. So
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I like the best thing about it is that when you wake up in the morning, you look the same.
You look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because some people, when they wake up in the morning, you think,
They look
hold on
vastly
a minute,
different.
that's not the girl I met last night at the club.
Absolutely.
And the man them come back. So what type of man them will know about them one day when you meet a girl at the club, and when you wake up in the morning, is not the same girl you take home. Totally different. That you have to say,
The eyelash stuck on the pillowcase.
For phone a cab quick time.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Right. We move to light. You know much man them listening know about this one there. You alright? So I'm just saying what the man them thinking, you know, okay, don't get it twisted. We know it go already when you wake up in the morning and say, is you me did me? No. Yeah, me did this. Hey yo, get me a cap please. And think. So that's why once you see the beauty of the person and that's what you see, that's what you're supposed to see all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If then that's what you accept as her beauty, that's what you accept.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is. So
Yeah,
when you
that's
see a
right.
beauty, even if it's weave or extension, once you've accepted that's how she looks, that's how she looks. You're going to handle two things. Be yourself. Anyway,
But
we're
do
going
you
to
know that some men never ever see their women without weave?
That is true. I think
Never.
some women are afraid. I have seen
Yeah.
clips online of, you know, sisters wanting to go natural, but
Yeah.
their husband is literally keeping them in bondage
Yeah.
at that stage.
Because,
You know,
but
that's
they
so-
set that pace from the
They
beginning.
do. You have to be yourself,
Yeah.
and that's part of going natural, because you get rid of the lie.
Yeah.
And you start doing truth.
Exactly.
And you need to meet. You really both partners need to be truthful right from the beginning, because, like you say, you do get used. You can get used
some
to a
people,
certain look.
Yeah.
some man them like it. You understand what I'm saying? And some women love it as well. But some of the man them say, yeah, it look good for them and they accept it. You know what I mean? But as we talked about with this book here, is showing us to think about what we're accepting. Have a
the
second
thing.
thought before you just take anything. You understand? Because as you said, once you cut your hair, you feel a relief.
Yes.
And obviously the people that do have this real hair, the person that gives them, cuts the sacrifices the real hair also gets a relief. So where does that relief go? Where does the
Yes.
negative go?
Yeah.
So we this book kind of helps you along the way to help you make a decision to basically be the way the Most High has created you. Right, so let's talk more about the book. All right. Right, so you wrote this book because
I think, you know, you can always see in your community where the challenge areas are. I mean, if you just look, all you have to do is walk out of your front door, walk down the street, and you can see the challenges that are in your community. Unless, you know, it's very, very easy to see.
give us one example of one of the challenges.
Well, this hair thing. I think that one of the challenges is our sisters feeling beautiful in their natural state.
They struggle
You know,
to feel beautiful in the natural state.
we
yeah.
have to remember that we're the original woman, so no other race exists on this planet without us first. We gave birth to all the other races. So it's actually crazy and nonsensical for us to feel in any way that somehow we have to hide the originality of humanity.
But
That-
can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Or not even ask a question.
Yeah.
I'm making the statement. Not every person or woman
Yes.
has been educated on that to
Absolutely.
know that they are the original.
That's right.
Because some people or some women still think that Caucasians rule.
Yeah. And that's
They don't
absolutely.
know that we are
The original.
beginning.
Absolutely.
And all others come, through
Afterwards,
us.
yeah.
So again, I always like to before I say certain things, and I always try to ask, but do they know this? Have they been
Right.
taught this?
Right.
If they haven't been taught it, they're not going to know.
Right.
They're not, and that's why self-education is so important. I think there's a lot of in society we're very disempowered. We tend to rely on a lot of our people for knowledge.
Yeah.
So we go to church to learn about the Bible, for instance.
Yeah.
We go to school to learn about history, for instance. When you
Yeah.
actually do your research, a lot of what you're being told isn't actually true. So self-education is really, really important, particularly nowadays where so much truth is actually on your phone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's certain things
It's
now
in
in
your pocket.
2018 we should really know. And if we don't, we have to ask, what am I spending my time doing?
Absolutely.
Especially if the choices we're making are affecting our health. We have to take responsibility for our own health,
Yeah.
our own learning,
Right.
our own freedom.
Right.
But again, we're spoon-fed information,
Right.
and we can look online for that because
Yes.
it's there. You can Google it, Wikipedia, and all the rest of it. But
Exactly.
I also believe that if you go to the library,
Yeah.
you'll get a whole load more of the information, because I like to go to
Absolutely.
the library, and I like to go back to before they updated books and updated
yes.
books, you get that original information.
Yes,
I know
yeah.
they're adding, but sometimes it's nice to look at the original information.
Absolutely.
And if
You
you,
know?
go to like really old bookstores,
Yeah.
you know buy these books, because when they start burning them because they don't want people to know about
So
it,
true.
we won't have that information to pass on to the next generation.
What's so good is, though, depending on who you can find online, a lot of our people in our community have gotten these books and are sharing them online.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen some amazing archaeology books, of how we were in ancient Rome, we were the gladiators, all sorts of things that come out, because like you say, these books can start to go out
Yeah.
of print, or they raise the price.
Yeah.
So there's so much of our people sharing information, so it's great.
Yeah.
You see, what it is essentially, as a community, as black people, we have there's a lot about ourselves that we don't know.
Yeah.
And we've got some awesome brothers and sisters who have been pursuing the truth about who we are,
Yeah.
what our experience has been on this planet. Because often, as Davina said, when you go to school, you get history starting from like 1492. Now, I
Exactly.
mean,
Yeah.
common sense dictates that we had to have been doing something before then.
That, that's right.
So I think it really is the onus is on us as individuals to go out and get the information, as groups to go out and get the information. Fortunately, a lot of our brothers and sisters, our older brothers and sisters, have been pursuing the truth, and they put a lot of what they've found online. So even though the libraries and that's all relative as well, there's actually a lot of information that's online as well. So you combine that with the things that you see in the libraries,
library,
you combine
that's
that
right,
with
yeah.
what you read in the Bible, and educate yourself and
That's
get
right.
that rounded education, because you can't really sit and rely on someone else to give you.
No, not at all.
It's a dangerous way to live. You have to be empowered to some degree.
That's right, to study
to go
for
out
yourself.
and get you the information
Yeah.
for yourself, because what you'll find is you can actually do it, and it doesn't actually take as long, and it's not as arduous as you think it is.
Yeah.
There's always people that have come before us who have laid some sort of foundation, or
That's
can
right.
guide us on the way to go as well. So I think that's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Davina and I are very, very big on self-empowerment. Yeah.
In the book here, when I was reading it, and this is one of the things that struck me, and as how can I put it, really damaging.
Yes.
It's hurtful,
Yes.
damaging, shocking, where mummy says, I don't like your hair.
Yeah.
The child says that to the mum.
She says that to
the
the mum.
said, yeah, that's right. She says that to the mum. She don't like, but you know, why don't you know? Does the mum wear her hair natural?
So exactly. So with that story, it was a lady who had for years worn weaves. So it looked nothing like her natural hair. So her children had grown up, seeing her always in weaves and didn't look like her hair. Yeah. Telling the children from a young age, this is the standard of beauty, something that isn't me, basically. Yeah. So when she's decided to give that lie, push it to the side, and went back to her natural hair, her children were like, "Oh, mummy, I don't like it."
Yeah. And we've heard this story.
It's quite, it's quite common. What do we expect our kids to say? We have been sending out the message that we're not good enough. Yeah. But, you know, credit to this lady. She stuck with her natural hair and said, well, I like it and it's good enough for me. And now the kids are fine. Yeah. It's just conditioning. She just conditioned her child through her own conditioning to reject what's there. Yeah. That's what it is. And that happens with a lot of people in our community, our mothers, our brothers, men, the whole community. The so-called black community has been conditioned for several decades to believe for some strange reason that a black woman is not meant to be the female version of the black man. Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
And you know what? The way how you put that is just wonderful. Please say that again.
I'll say it again.
No one does it like that. Go on.
Say it again.
The black community has been conditioned to not realise that the black woman should look like the female version of her man. Female version of her man.
Come on.
As you see in every
woman is the female version of her black man.
There you go.
Come on.
And they've done everything.
I feel good. Go on. Keep talking.
In their power.
Oh yes.
To remove the black woman.
That's right.
From the black man.
Oh yes, you see it
and,
all the way.
You know, put in, you know, and. You know what? I'm not gonna go there because I'm an activist.
Oh yeah, we know. We say
I'm an activist,
and it's just
blind.
So you've got that. You've got this separation because let's face it. When you go outside, you see Indian couples, Chinese couples, Caucasian couples. Yeah. The women look like the female version of their men, and their men expect it. Their men expect it, and their men demand it, and they desire it. You haven't told someone, "Oh, do you know what? I'm actually going to put a hairpiece of an afro on my hair." Yeah, remember, you're not leaving the house with me.
Exactly.
You see,
and no one's fighting them together. No one is, and this is what, again, this is what I'm saying. No one is looking at what's actually going on.
That's a problem.
Why are they fighting us to be with our own black men or our own black women? Why are they fighting us? There must be something in it, isn't it? If they're not fighting any other race of people or nation or whatever they want to call it, or people, you know, what's
the threat about us?
What is the threat exactly?
There's clearly something. We're
very powerful together, aren't we? That's what it is. That's what it is.
Threat, because I don't understand why it should. Everyone else can walk together in unison, looking like the female and male versions of each other, but
not us.
So so I always say, I mean, it's very sad because like we talk in the second chapter about the messages that we send out and the messages that we receive, and how often the messages that we send out are a consequence of the messages we've received. Yeah. So if we receive a message that says we really don't need to see you in your natural state, and we internalize that, then we go out and then seek health compromising alternatives to our own natural hair. And then we send out our own message to society, because often we send a message out to society when we choose to be different from how the Most High created us.
That's right.
Send a message to society which isn't particularly in our favour, let me put it that way. It's not good for our health. And then society can start thinking all sorts of things about us based on that choice we've made. So it's like this horrible vicious cycle of and I think one of the messages we decided, Davina, didn't we, that's gone out, or I think a lot of our men are receiving, is that you don't really need to reproduce yourself, because I think somehow our men have been made to feel like they shouldn't like themselves.
In fact, they've admitted that. They have admitted that, haven't they?
To be honest, it's been admitted. I've actually listened to some guys say, honestly, I don't really want kids that look like me. Which is pretty deep.
I'll give you a story. I knew a person, and lovely dark-skinned brother. He'd said he didn't want no children to look like him neither.
Well, what did he tell you?
He got what he wanted. He said he wanted a child that was blonde haired, with one green eye, one blue eye. And no word of a lie, he got the blonde hair looking child with one green eye, one blue eye, but the woman ran off with the child and he turned mad. He literally turned mad and used to walk the streets mad because the dream child that he wanted and got, he didn't have access to, so that he could walk with it and parade it, like, you know.
What has happened to so many of our
trophy.
men? And I say so many, not all, because there are some brothers who decide to step back and start thinking for themselves. But unfortunately, there's still a large number of our brothers who just aren't doing that.
Yeah.
It's like, brothers, you're just playing into the lies.
Yep.
Lies or truth. You have to decide which one you want to take. Make a choice. Lies or truth.
You see, someone has convinced our brothers, this is the thing, convinced them not to want to reproduce themselves. They've admitted it, you know, they've come out and said, and you can see it. You can see by the choices that they're making that they've internalized that lie. Again, and then our sisters have been convinced, you know, not to want to look like themselves, in many cases not to want to reproduce themselves. And then again, you go out and you can see it through their actions that, yes, I can see that that's what they've internalized, you see. So this is why our book works on this. It works on the mind, because it's not about, you know, how to twist my hair and how to make myself look really, really good all the time. It's about how do I have the confidence to be, okay, my hair's gone a bit wrong today, but who cares?
Yeah.
See, we need, because when I look at people of other nations, people of other races, they have that, I mean, I'd go into like a professional meeting and with maybe one of my Caucasian colleagues, and she'll just like twist her hair up into some bun, put a pencil through it, and roll up her sleeves and say, right, what are we doing on this? Now, when we can get to that that level of confidence where you just, it doesn't matter if your hair's going left or it's going right, and you didn't twist it properly, it's matted up, etc. That is confidence, when you're able to just be like, this is me, I'm the original. It doesn't matter if my hair's having a bad day. My value is still intact. I don't have to look perfect all the
that's
time.
right, exactly.
I think as well, we talk about in the book the fact that because our sisters have been deliberately excluded from the beauty spaces, it's made them beauty anxious.
Yes.
Now we know what beauty spaces, billboards, magazines, movies, our own, you know, like I said, our own so-called black movies. You've got the original man, but his love interest doesn't like him. Isn't the female version
the
of him?
music videos
Can be the worst.
Yesterday I was in a shop and I don't watch none of those things. I don't watch any of them, but because I was in this particular shop, it was on, and I was looking and thinking, well, where's the black woman? I was straining my eyes to actually see where in any part of the video is this, and if she was there, she had
her head been compromised in some way,
in some kind of way. So our children who watch these things, like I said, you know, they're going to think that's what it is
of beauty,
because they don't see it enough in the magazines and on, you know, TV or their programs.
Do you know what? I really don't think.
There.
I mean, when you talk to health professionals, they advise not to have TV. It's just not healthy. It's not healthy.
It's not.
These are health professionals.
I don't watch TV.
We don't have TV. What's TV going to do for me? You know, it's just another, you know, programming your mind.
That's
it's called programming
for a TV program.
You know, television, tell a lie.
Program part, well, I want to watch my TV. No, you want to be programmed.
Exactly.
Forget about the TV thing. You are watching a program.
There you go.
You understand? And you are being programmed. Right, now, as you lot said something here, I thought about something. Actually, I didn't even think about it. I went to do my experiment. So the ladies hairdressers, watch out, because I do come into your shops from time to time, and you don't know that I'm sitting there. But what I do when I go to their shops, I've been to a couple of them, and I pick up the magazines, and I go through the magazines, and I spot how much women I can find in their magazines with natural hair. In the hairdressers, our own black hairdressers. So this is something which kind of, when I went through the magazine, I saw all different races on the planet, but our people, had the same hair as the other races on the planet.
Right.
Now I'm saying, if you are a hairdresser, there should be something in here of natural people. But none of the magazines, not the hairdressers themselves, but none of the magazines that I've seen in the hairdressers actually promoted natural hairstyles.
That's the thing.
Now the question is, why? Why is our hairdressers and people who do these things, why are they not promoting natural hairstyles, pictures is in their store or in their magazine.
I would say it's because they've believed the lie. Like Davina and I, we just go spiritual with this thing because this is the only way to deal with the issues in our community. You've got to go spiritual.
That's right.
Someone has perpetrated a lie. That particularly the woman, because the men celebrate men look good. Brothers, the original man, you see him every day.
Yeah.
But the original woman, not so much. It's a slow, gradual change. So I think someone has made the original woman feel like she can't be the original woman. And that lie, she's internalized it. And it's been passed down. It's like systemic. It just goes through generations.
So what you're saying is that they've been taught to believe that they will not be accepted in their natural state.
Yeah.
So they go with the flow.
Absolutely.
And because the boss man believes that I will be in their subconscious, they're believing I will look more presentable at work, I will fit in.
Yes, exactly.
And this fit in thing is something that, how far do we go to fit in that you actually change the signal that comes from the sun, from the universe?
Exactly.
Which we're going to talk a little bit about the antenna side of the hair.
Yes. Can I just expand what Tracy was saying about this whole magazine thing and representation? Because we often complain a lot as a community about not seeing ourselves represented in the beauty spaces.
Yeah.
But if our own beauty spaces, like we're saying, music videos, films, magazines, if we're not doing it ourselves, how in our own so-called black magazines, if we're not doing it ourselves, when we complain about the other races not putting us in there, how much credibility do we have?
Exactly, that's right.
How much credibility do we have? I mean, you know, some will say, well, we're sponsoring, we can't get the money. Well, maybe we should just take a step back and work on fixing this. Let's not worry about the money so much. Let's heal this problem. There's a huge raw wound here. You know, sometimes it's not always about money. It's about actually fixing the root cause.
That's right, yeah.
Because we can solve this problem, but we can't because we complain about the other races not doing it. They could turn around and say, well, it's about the money. Then we're still upset. So we have to do it start with ourselves first. It's again looking for answers and solutions outside ourselves. Let's start with our own community and fix this. And then at least if we complain, we actually have a leg to stand on. You know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we just need to fix our minds. You see, I think one of the biggest things that people don't realise is that a lack of confidence is caused by believing a lie. 9 times it's just you've just believed a lie about yourself. That's it. Maybe it came when you were younger, maybe in your teens, maybe somebody says something to you and someone's lied to you about yourself. You've internalized it, and now your confidence is showing.
I hear that. And the biggest lie is in the church.
Don't get me started.
No, for real.
Don't get started.
No, we need to get this book in at the church. I will smuggle it in there. The biggest lie is in the church, and I'm not born in the church today. But when we're talking about this this book, because I'm putting everything in the contents of this book, I said this a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to say it again. The Bible, which the church people them defend with their life, even disown their children, everything they will do for this book, and the worshipping of Christianity, which if they want to worship Christianity, there's nothing wrong with that. But in the book, which they say is the word of God, every living word, in this book it says thou shalt not take unto thyself any graven image, thou shalt not have anything to do with idol worship or take on anything that has been sacrificed to idols or other gods. Right? But yet when you're going to the church, 50% of them have something on their head that has been sacrificed to another god, when the book tells you you shall not take part in these things. Now, I am not saying this. The Bible tells me so. Right? So this is what I'm saying. What we're dealing with now is like we're gonna have to separate the wolf them from the sheep them. And many are called, but few are chosen. Right? So this book is why I'm saying why I'm doing this. It's important because especially in the black church, there is so much idol worshipping on their heads that I'm saying, can you not see what you're doing? Can you not see that you have a graven image worshipping on your head that is blocking your antennas, that is stopping the right signal and frequency to get into your brain, so you can now bring it to the rest of us?
I think when we realise, we have to get the revelation that the church and the Bible are two different things.
Absolutely.
And that's the problem.
Exactly.
Give us an example of that.
I went to church for several years, I was not taught the Bible.
No.
So
Thank you.
I believe fully in the Bible.
Yeah.
And that's because there's a huge awakening going on that the real people of the Bible are actually us, the black people. We're the real Jews.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
The average person in the church does not know this. The average black person does not know this, even though there's awakening going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is Christianity and there is the Bible.
That's right.
The Bible is a book of the black people.
That's right. Exactly. That's our book.
It's our history book.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
In the churches, like you said, they're doing idol worship. Yes, they're not doing the Bible. They're doing Christianity.
Yeah.
Christianity is absolutely. I can't tell you one thing that
completely different.
I cannot tell you
from the Bible.
I have been
completely different.
Completely different. I've been on a journey. We've both been on a journey for the last few years, and come to see what the Bible actually says, and it is quite shocking.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Christianity existed before. There's different Christianities. I look at it as two different types. There's the African Christianity, Ethiopia, because Ethiopia has the oldest version of the Bible before any other country, which they call the Bible. Right. So we in Ethiopia have the oldest version. So Christianity was established there before it came to Europe or Rome.
But was it called Christianity then?
I don't think it was.
Not necessarily.
Yeah. You have to realise the Bible isn't about Christianity. The Bible is about the nation of the children of Israel who were given a divine agreement.
But do you know what the word why they chose the word Christianity? It was actually like a curse word.
Yeah, it was not positive.
It wasn't a positive word.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't a positive word.
It means Christians. In the
that
dictionary,
it
means cretins.
Yes, it means stupid.
Exactly.
That's the
That's
meaning
what
of
it
the
was,
word
because
Christians.
those who worship the Creator, you understand what I'm saying? In my
They used to
studies,
mock them.
they used to mock them. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
So that's where the words Christians come from, and then it was the Romans who took on those that and carried it on and did their own thing
absolutely.
with it.
When you study the Bible, the Most High and his son are not calling anyone Christians.
No.
They're calling them Israel.
That's right.
Israel,
Exactly.
It's Judah. It's Benjamin.
I'm glad you said that, you know.
You know, it's not Christian.
It's not
in prophecy.
Exactly.
In prophecy, there's 12 gates into the kingdom of heaven.
Exactly.
All the names on those 12 gates are children of Israel names.
Reach to them, sister.
There is no Christian gate.
Thank you. Thank you
we
very
have to,
much.
We have to start doing our
Please
research.
tell them.
Put it out, we have to start doing our research, put it on our phones, and start finding out what's really going on.
But see, the thing about it is, because we like to be spoon-fed, not me
Yes,
anyway,
there
but
you
we
go.
like to be spoon-fed. We don't study for ourselves.
That's the
thing.
You understand what I'm saying? But when you study, you understand Christianity has nothing to do with
do.
our book,
No.
us as a people. Like I said, like you said, that Bible there, I will defend it till I die.
Yeah.
You understand? Because that's our book.
our book.
That's
Thank you,
our
sister.
book. It tells you about your health. It tells you how to live. It tells you how to treat people. It tells you how to do. It's yourself is in that book.
That's right. We try to tell our people the reason, so much of the reason and the situation we're in today, even so much about this hair.
Yeah.
This thing about the hair is in the Bible, you know.
Yeah.
This is why it's hair in the
give us-
Bible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Where's the bell?
I don't know. Somebody teach the bell.
Sister, listen to me.
Order.
Listen to me. Now, this is getting hot. This is getting sweet. This is getting juicy. Come on.
It's time.
Come on.
I'm so
Come
tired of
on,
seeing our-
Sister Davina. Come on.
Order.
Sister,
Come on.
tell it now.
I need a hammer instead of the bell. Right.
No, it's something right. So we don't know. For years we haven't known why we're in the situation we're in. Why were people targeted? And the Bible explains all of this because it's our history.
Yes.
Yeah, but and you said that they're doing something different from the churches. Yes, they're not doing the Bible. Do you know the Bible? Sorry, Trace. I'll be really quick. The Bible tells us in Deuteronomy 28 the curses that would come that would mark us in the last days.
Exactly. Remember he said if you there's blessings and there's curses.
Come on.
Right?
Come on. The Bible tells us Deuteronomy 28. That is the mark which Moses gave us.
Excuse me.
Sorry, Baba Bliss. Sorry. This conversation is too juicy right now.
Hey, somebody call her so she can answer the phone and stop talking, please. Right, listen. You finished? No, don't say that.
Spirit to spirit. So me and my sister's connected with the spirit to spirit. Speak it.
I'm not stopping her from speaking it. I want her to explain a little bit.
Sorry.
It's very passionate.
Yes, and I have your same passion. I have your same passion. Because this is what I've been trying to say all along. I've been trying to say this. Listen to me. I don't bash the Bible, but when I say bash it, I'm talking about I try to get that word out there so people can understand this thing. You understand? I'm sick and tired tired of people saying, the Bible's this and the Bible's that. No, it's not. If you study it for yourself and stop trying to be spoon-fed, you will see that book is you.
It's you. Come on, sis.
It's all of you.
Come on.
From beginning to end. Adam, which means dark matter. That is you.
That is
Come on, sis.
You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, the prophecies in there are pretty shocking. And and when you study it, you say, oh my gosh, that's us. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's us who is prophesied to be hated amongst all nations.
All nations.
It's us. It's us that says, Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, you'll be taken back to Egypt, slavery. On ships.
Thank you.
Listen, the day you realise that the transatlantic slave trade is in Deuteronomy 28.
Thank you very much.
You realise colonisation is in Deuteronomy 28.
That's right.
You've got Deuteronomy 28, 31 and 33,
going down,
which talk about colonisation. You've got Deuteronomy 28, 64, which talk about how we're going to be sent into slavery again, isn't it, with ships. It says you're sent into Egypt again. Egypt just literally means bondage. That's all that means.
Yeah.
There is no one else on the planet who pertains to that.
And it tells you what happens with your children. Your children will be sent to the north and the south, and they'll be scattered. Sorry, brother. You're still trying to get sorry.
Oh, you remember me? I just thought we were telling the dog.
Listen,
I'm gonna go and get something to eat and come back, Bridget, because I'm alright.
Listen to me.
The bed ain't working, so I just
listen to me. Listen.
Carry on. No, it's alright. I'm cool. Can I speak now?
Yes, you can. Sorry, I will close my mouth. Sorry.
No, you can. I'm enjoying the bantering. I'm enjoying the thing.
We will meet in our own meet, and then we will have this passionate conversation.
I don't mind. The conversation's cool. Don't watch me. I'm listening. But what I want to do, what you're saying is all good. Wonderful news. Yeah. Don't worry, people. I know we were supposed to be talking about the book, but no, we're going into the Bible.
All part of it.
It's all part of it. You were saying, sister, something about the Bible tells you about your hair. Yeah. Now, can you give me an example of something that the Bible says about your hair?
Yes. Isaiah 3, 16 to 24 talks about how we're the daughters of Zion, because that's who we are going to have curses on us, which will result in, baldness of the hair.
That's right. Yes.
The scalp. I think issues.
I'm getting it right now. I'm getting it right now. Yeah.
You go to Isaiah 3, 16 to 24.
Okay, Isaiah. Let me get it up.
You'll be surprised, because you will see that the diseases, curses, that are put on the daughters of Zion, because the daughters of Zion, the Most High, our Heavenly Father, accused us of being haughty, vain, a bit arrogant, proud, and obviously those aren't loving traits. The Most High is always looking for his people to demonstrate love. So if you don't demonstrate that, he will put a curse on you, and you'll see those curses relating to the hair in Isaiah 3, 16 to 24. So you will see now that when you see a lot of our sisters, they're suffering from traction alopecia.
That's right, yes.
But there's a lot of baldness. If you go on YouTube, you've got sisters telling their stories about how they use these alternative hair pieces, and how, for example, there's one that you stick down with glue.
That's right.
Yes. Lace front, I think, and then you pull it. When you pull the wig off, I think it can take off not just a layer of the hair, but also your actual skin.
That's right.
There's been celebrities that have come on and said, I've used these hair products, and this is what it's caused. If you see
Naomi Campbell, she has no hair.
Classic example.
It's gone completely at the front. Gone.
So people are online and they're saying, "Look, sisters, I know you think this is the look, but I used to think this was the look, and I wish I hadn't made these choices, because now look what it's done to my hair." I mean, you will see some grim images on YouTube, because sisters are kind enough to come and warn their other sisters that, look, this isn't all it looks. It isn't, all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah.
Davina and I, before we become extinct, how do I get the confidence to wear my natural woolly hair? The book is a health book. We tell you that, listen, not only are there emotional and mental health and spiritual health issues pertaining to this hair, there's also physical ones. I did some research on products that are targeted and marketed to black women. I actually did the research on it and found that most of these products that are targeted to our sisters are categorized as high potential hazard, meaning there are ingredients within these products which are so toxic to our bodies.
It is.
And they seem to be targeted in our direction.
Exactly.
You know, our sisters need to know about this. Sisters, you need to empower yourself. Like, if you look at the style of our book and the way it's written, we actually ask you a lot of questions. I don't know if you noticed that when you read that, but we ask our reader a lot of questions because it's so important to think for yourself. Just start thinking about things a little bit more before you. We tend to just go and, you know, this is the latest trend, and we just jump on board without really doing any research into it, really thinking about, hold on a minute, but is this actually good for my health? You know, do I really need this? Does it make sense that my hair that does so many amazing things needs to somehow be hidden from society?
Exactly.
That itself doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
So this is why, you know, and so yes, we are very passionate, as you can see, about this topic.
I'm with you. Trust me, I'm with you on that one.
I mean, you have to wonder why we have all these problems with the so-called black woman who's actually the Israelite woman. Why she has so many problems with her hair.
Yeah.
Why do we have bald patches and skin? Other races don't have it. Do you know what I mean?
But you know what's so funny? When they try to, is it appropriate is the right word? Our styles, then they end up with all that traction, alopecia and baldness.
That's what,
You understand what I'm saying?
That's what I mean.
Then they end up with that. You understand what I'm saying? But it's really funny. Sorry. I had to just say that.
It's crazy.
I can see the compassion here.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you see, when you
Listen.
finally get the answers to why your community has got so many problems, oh, finally. Because you grow up, it's, slavery just happened. No, sorry. Why did it happen?
Yeah.
Why? For so long, for so much targeted, and we're still having problems today.
Until
on the news and see your brother get shot.
Well, the thing is, until we understand who we are,
exactly,
and what our history has been, we will never ever deal with the problem stacking. That's just straight up. There is no going forward for us without a thorough and complete understanding as far as possible.
That scripture that says, "My people who are called by my name, if they humble themselves and see," was it
humble?
Humble themselves and
turn from their wicked ways
and seek my face. Then I will hear them and heal their land.
Yes. So
you understand what I'm saying?
Who's the onus is on us?
It's on us, exactly.
So what are we waiting for?
So my people are called by my name, because what they don't seem to understand, we have a name.
We have a name.
We have a name. We've been given a name.
Yep.
But we try to appropriate everybody else's name.
I didn't even know that you knew about all this.
Of course I know about this, darling.
Happy I am just sitting here in the seat.
I know my Bible, you know. I know my Bible.
Phrases.
Trust me.
You don't know. Because
I know my
I'm
Bible.
telling you, when you try and tell our people, because what I notice is a lot of our people, and I understand this completely, often have a complaint.
Yeah.
You just got to go onto Facebook, Twitter, weekly, if not daily. There's a new complaint. This happened. This happened to this person. That happened to this person. Someone got discriminated against this person. And it gets to a point where you like, I understand these things are happening. I understand the need for us to talk about them because you share. But what are we doing about it that's really effective?
Yeah.
Because you got to look and think, okay, so the things we've been doing don't seem
the marching, the voting,
right. They haven't got us where we're meant to be.
Yeah, nowhere.
They haven't got us out of this situation. So it follows that maybe we should try something different.
Exactly.
Why don't we try going back to our God who's been saying to us for
But he's been saying
long.
that. He's been saying that. It's been,
our
open it up as the Bible says.
There you go. Our God gave his people Israel.
Yeah.
Us.
That's
Israel,
right.
the black woman and the black man. He gave Israel a divine way of living life called a covenant or an agreement, for instance.
That's right, yeah.
The agreement was for us to love him and to love our fellow brother and sister. Where the Bible tells us.
That's it, plain and simple.
That's it. The Bible tells us that the other nations have their own gods, right?
It hangs on the laws and the prophets.
Absolutely.
To love him and to love, the whole of the law hangs on the laws and prophets, and that's what it is.
That's it.
We were always punished when you read the Bible because we kept going after the gods of other nations.
Yes.
Contrary to what which they teach you in the churches, every nation has their own God.
Their own God.
Right?
And
Israel has the holy God of Israel. That's why he calls himself the God of Israel.
Yeah.
And he told us to not worship the gods of the other nations. We didn't listen.
And this is why.
And now you see us, now all these problems we have today, we didn't listen. We didn't our end of the bargain. We signed a contract, but we breached it.
Many times.
There's always a consequence for breach of contract. Always.
And you know, it's funny about the 2 commandments because, as you said, all the law and the prophets hang on those 2 commandments, like Christ said. If you look really carefully at our community, you will see that that's our issue.
Yeah.
Our issue is that love is missing.
Big time.
Love is missing from
Big
our community.
time.
Don't you find it interesting that we were given a law of love, yet we're in this situation and love is missing from our community? Big time. Love for the Creator, love for each other.
And love for each other.
I'm sorry, it's not there. We need to bring back, we're looking for love outside of that.
Exactly.
It's right here. We need to be a part of that. Like, we need to make that happen. And that's choices that we make. So a lot of us, we've looked outside for love. We're looking for these people to get love. We're looking for these people.
Acceptance.
We need to love the chosen ones and each other.
And
this problem
it's not oxymoron. That's not the oxymoron, is it? That's not. We can't call it an oxymoron. That's not the oxymoron.
No, it just doesn't. It just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
You know,
that's what I mean. It doesn't make sense because the
thing is, what. Part of the curses was the fact that we would be a destroyed people.
Yeah.
Now, when the Bible talks about destroyed, it doesn't mean you no longer exist.
Yeah.
It means you'd be ruined.
You'd be
mentally
ruined. Yeah.
So as a result, we're looking for love from people who have not loved us and have made every effort not to love us.
Yeah.
You know, we make decisions that don't make sense. It's all part of the destroyed mind. For a long time I was studying the Bible, I didn't understand what it really meant, like, till you be destroyed. There's quite a lot of those prophecies, till you be destroyed. But we're still here.
And that's what is happening now. We are kind of destroyed,
we're still
aren't we?
But we're still here. We're still breaking records. You see our people, being fantastic, doing incredible things on a world stage. But when it's just simple things like, why did he say that, or why did she say that, or why is she doing that?
Yeah, but then why are they doing incredible things on world stage? Because at the end of the day, they're there to program the ones who don't think for themselves. Don't you think that? That's why they're up on that world. That's why they're allowed to be put there.
Yes.
Because they are the big influence. Because we are influenced by music, we are influenced by visual things and all the rest of it. So if you put them up on the world stage, they know that we are gonna follow them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's why they're there, really.
I haven't come across anything that actually answers the questions to our problems until I started to study that Bible, until I became awakened. It's like, okay, now I understand why we have these problems.
We looked at the whole Egypt thing, didn't answer the question. See, we're very solution driven. So for us, it's like, why are we in the situation that we're in? What happened to Black people? What's our story? Why are we in this situation? Why is there this feeling of not good enough? Why do we feel like it's always us who are being targeted? Unless you have something that's going to concretely answer all those questions, you still don't have the answer. You must get the answer. Because we've heard a lot of different theories about who we are, etc., etc. How many of them can tell us why we went into slavery, why we were colonised, why we have so many problems in the community? Unless it can answer that question, no, keep going. You're not there yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Because, it's about solution. And the scriptures are the one place you find that solution.
But you know what I find, because you go to different meetings, and things and marches and everything. Everybody has a different belief and a different view.
Yes.
And because we have different beliefs and different views, and nobody's in unity, you're not going to get that change because we're not in unity on beliefs.
We need to be united, most definitely.
Sadly, I mean, you know what the Bible says, only a remnant of Israel will get their promises.
We'll get there, that's right, exactly.
Because there are too many of us who just don't want to love. And come back to our true heritage, keeping the commandments, loving our God the way He wants us to love Him, not the way the Christian church tells us.
Right,
Sunday worship and Christmas. The Bible condemns those things.
Thank you.
The Bible condemns Christmas, Easter, all those things. Study carefully.
That's right,
So until we come back and start loving our God the way He asked us to, and which we agreed to, and loving our fellow brother and sister, we won't get those promises.
We're not.
It's just that simple. It will end here. Well, in a society.
But it's like when the children of Israel went round and round and round the wilderness for 40 years, and they could have got there. It was like a week or something like that. They went round, and that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna keep going round. The promised land is just over there, but we're going round and round to get there because of how much years.
That's the problem. So again, it's us. We have to make a conscious decision that we are going to love our Creator and love each other. I tell you, we love our Creator and love it. This problem goes away. This is why it's so, you can't help the passion because it's like, oh my gosh, if you just listen.
Exactly. Well, we're saying, we're not in the beauty spaces. No, because we don't have our own land. Our land has been occupied by those who aren't us.
Yeah. That's right.
If we were in our own land, would people complain about beauty spaces, please? No, because we would own the beauty spaces.
Thank you.
Well, there'll be none of this. Oh, I'm not good enough. Well, have our own land. Do you know what that means? Have your own land. But it's not even. That's just one of the promises that the Most High promised to us. It's the world rulership and our own land. There's plenty of things He promised. Yes, we want it all. Yes, we do. We want it all, because that is a status of being chosen. That is a status of royalty. Royalty isn't just a state of mind. It's real estate. It's wealth.
Yeah.
It's influence.
Come on.
It's land. It's jewelry. It's art collection. It's not just a state of mind. No, you go and tell Prince William that royalty is simply a state of mind. Go tell him that.
He'll laugh at you.
Exactly.
I mean, this is the thing. A lot of the time we do hear within the community, you know, we're royal people. Okay, should that not be reflected in the way we're living? Should that not be reflected in our art collection?
Not just calling, not just saying it, but it should be reflected.
We're royalty. So where's my art collection? Where's my real estate? Where's my jewelry? You know, we have to. What happened? Because that's the only thing that's gonna get us out of all this.
Yeah.
I mean, having to write a book to help our sisters get the confidence to wear their natural woolly hair, to me, whilst I loved writing the book, and it's the best thing I think I've ever done, or one of the best things I've ever done, it saddens me a little bit as well that our sisters are in this position. I've had sisters come up to me saying, I love your hair. Oh, I'd love to wear it like that, but I just don't have the confidence. Oh gosh, how do you get the confidence to? Oh, particularly so short. That's what spurred the book.
Yeah.
Because sisters were coming up saying, how do you get the confidence to do that?
But then doesn't the confidence come from the upbringing?
Yes and no.
It's definitely an influencer.
Because I say that because my daughter's here.
Yes. Oh, she's beautiful. Yeah.
And
I told her how beautiful she is today.
I give her the confidence. I instill that in her.
Yes.
I tell her that she's beautiful.
Yes.
Her hair is beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, her hair is special.
Yeah.
Never ever think that it's not special.
Yes.
You can do whatever you want with your hair. You can style your hair however you want naturally.
Yeah.
You don't have to straighten your hair. You don't have to put chemicals. All of those things.
Absolutely.
In it. Love your hair as it
praises.
is.
That's fantastic.
And she loves her
so
own
important.
hair. And stuff like that. So I try to instill in her, as she gets older and older, your hair is special.
Yes.
Look after your hair.
Very special.
And we conditioned it, because we did it the other day, didn't we? We washed and we conditioned it. We left the conditioner on, and she's felt how silky and soft it feels after the conditioner was washed out. So I instilled that in with her now, so she has the confidence from now to love her hair, because it's a part of her to wear it as how she wants. Because I know how she's kind of quirky anyway when she chooses her own clothes. So I know her hair is going to be a big part of her personality, and how she expresses herself.
It's so important.
And I make sure she freely expresses herself.
Yes.
So she likes to have her hair out, and she'd be at home sometimes, and she'd be there with her hair and all the rest of it. And I encourage that, so she gets used to her hair. Absolutely. And she loves her own hair.
Yes.
I mean, that is, this is it. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, that's amazing. Because, we hear stories are very different from that. And also we hear stories that where our sisters would say, my mum, she praised my hair when I was younger, and, she told me it was nice and everything, but they're still today feeling this pressure to cover their hair. So it's... there's so many messages coming at you.
This book is power packed. It is power packed.
It is.
It is power packed. Brother bless.
I don't know.
You're soaking it all in, aren't you?
I'm just making you ladies get on with it, because.
Watch that for me. Let me see what's the time.
What, you want the bell?
No, I check time. Time.
No, it's all right.
Right, so what I wanted to do, go on, you do your thing.
No, I'll let you talk, because then when you look ready, I got a couple of things from the book, which I would like you to explain.
Go on, you do your thing.
So this is why. No. I like the conversation. I like the preaching.
Conversation?
When I preach and I take everybody to church.
You're right, yeah. Because the thing about it is, I like to make sure our men voices are heard.
Absolutely.
So
I don't have no choice right now.
You understand what I'm saying? But this is why I'm stopping. And
it's cool.
And I'm letting the...
Nah, I'm enjoying this. You're taking me to church, Bridget. I'm just waiting for you to ask for me for tithes and offers. Now listen to this thing here.
This is another thing.
Because I honour my brother. I'm teaching how to honour our brothers here. You understand what I'm saying? Because you know, sometimes women out there, we get this power thing, and I don't have it. But I'm just saying,
true. I know what
but
you're
I'm
talking
honouring
about.
my brother, and I'm
Yes.
saying I'm going to shut my mouth and just be quiet so
You're
that you
full of
can.
lyrics, man.
You know.
Anyway.
Definitely. No, it's true.
Right. Well, you were
Absolutely.
saying a little bit, but you were just going to say something.
Yes, you said about tithes and offerings.
Yeah,
and
no, like
stuff.
I said, the way you lot are doing this thing,
Doing
so
church.
churchy, Kyle, I'm just waiting for you to say tithes
Tithes
and
and
offering.
offering,
You gone down the road.
That's what I'm saying, brother. Tithes and offerings is food. It's nothing to do with money.
It's nothing.
But we know that. The tithes and
Yeah,
offerings
nothing
never had
to do with nothing to do with no money, ain't it, brother?
Yeah, we
Nothing,
know
isn't
this.
it?
We know this.
Yeah.
But all of us seemed in this circle now. We all had our fair experience of the church.
Absolutely.
And we actually know right now, in our Babylon, our Egypt, our road lead to Rome. Originally, our road lead to Africa. But our people in the church don't want it to lead to Africa. They want it to lead to Rome. You understand? And even the people on the pool stick, when the pool pit.
Yes.
Stand in a pool pit. Who wants to be in a pit? And when they're dead, they're going to end up going to a pit. You understand what I'm saying? And Bible warns you about the most dangerous pit. But yet they put the pastor in another pit. See, so you have to look at the logic of all roads right now in a Babylon church, in a Egypt, leads to Rome.
Yes.
And as the Bible says in Genesis, it encompasses the whole land of Ethiopia. Genesis 1, Ethiopia is mentioned. Your African country is mentioned in the first chapter of the Bible. That alone is supposed to be a sign, but we don't hear these things in the church.
You won't.
Never hear these things in the church.
No, because they want to remove all colour from it, even though the Bible's full of colour.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bible's full of colour.
You know.
Right, and as I always say, there's lots of Rasta man in the Bible. So I done a show, people with locks in the Bible.
Yeah, there are.
I showed
Absolutely.
the church people that basically all of the man them what God chose in the Bible. I say 90% of them have locks. Solomon, we know Solomon had locks.
Yeah,
we
Samson
know
as
Queen
well, I
of
think.
Sheba. We know Samson had locks. We know Ezekiel had locks. We know Isaiah had locks. And it tells you in there that they got locks. But when we go to the church, they turn around and it's a shame for you to have long hair. The Bible tells you so. No, the Bible never tell you so.
No.
Paul tell you so.
Yeah.
And Paul is a man that never even see Jesus.
Yeah.
But yet him tell you something, but you go by that. And he was a Roman. So come on, people. Our road leads to Africa. Right? That's what we've got to be looking at with the African consciousness. Yeah.
But
And then we may get closer to the truth. Because even when you go back to Egypt, they got the 42 Confessions of my Art. Yeah. And Declarations of my Art. And in there you will find the 10 Commandments. Yeah. And so that shows you that these 10 Commandments was taken from Egypt. This same teaching has been around for thousands and thousands of years, and we have now got it in the version what they call the Bible. So when one want to bun the Bible and say King James this and King James that, I'm saying, well, if King James was a homosexual, why would he leave it in the Bible that God says it's an abomination?
Yeah, he wasn't.
Right, I know, but I'm just trying to say, use your common sense.
Yeah.
Use your common sense.
More
If King
lies.
James was not a black man, why would he leave all these black people in there? Why wouldn't they change that? You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes common sense ain't common anymore.
No, it's not. I think sometimes, and I think the churches, they really kind of encourage lack of thought.
Yeah, they do.
Very much so. It's just believe what pastor says.
Yeah.
Right. So
I mean,
They give him so much authority.
they do.
You don't question him. Do as I say and not as I do.
Yes.
You know, and like I said,
Exactly.
they go to church to be spoon fed. They don't have to do no work. I'm just going to go to church, sit down, hear the service, get up, come out, and you're same as you
That's
were when
right.
you came in.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, he tells you everything. You don't need to go and study for yourself.
I mean, the Apostle Paul was mistaken for being Egyptian. We know that
Yeah.
the ancient Egyptians were
Yeah.
dark
he
skinned
was from the
people.
tribe of Benjamin.
You know,
Yes.
Paul was an
Yes.
Israelite. He said, I'm an Israelite from the seed of Abraham,
Yeah.
the tribe of Benjamin.
Yeah.
He was a pure blood brother Israelite.
Yeah.
You know, so
He was black.
He had Roman
a
citizenship.
so-called black
He
man.
had
He had
Roman
Roman
citizenship, but he was
Yeah.
an Israelite.
Yeah,
but I've
because he
got
says
your
he's
British
from the tribe of
citizenship.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Now to the book, people. Right? Because now you've
to the book.
vented and you got it all off your chest. Yeah? You got that out of the way, which is wonderful information. Right. Back to the book, people. The book is called Before We Become Extinct. Right? What must we do before we become extinct?
What must we do before we become extinct?
Well, that's what the book is called. So I'm saying, what kind of message? What kind of message would you like to deliver to us before we get, if we get to that stage? We might not.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The book is called Before We Become Extinct. How do I get the confidence to wear my natural woolly hair? The most important thing that we have to understand is that this is a love issue. As we said before, this is a love issue. We are in a situation where our brothers have been made to feel like they're not good enough. Our sisters have been made to feel like they're not good enough. This has resulted in our brothers not wanting to reproduce themselves. They've confessed. This has resulted in our sisters not wanting to look like the way they are naturally, or even reproduce themselves. Yeah. They've confessed. I mean, these are all confessions. These are our brothers and sisters saying, look, this is how I feel about myself. So we have to come back and realise that we're in this situation because along our history, we didn't love. That's just the top and bottom of it. Yeah. We didn't love our creator. We didn't love each other. And as a result, we're in a situation where we are essentially going through things that we were never meant to go through. Until we come back and start loving our creator the way he wants to be loved, and not say, oh, well, you know, this works for me, I like doing this, etc., etc. You're a special people. Hands down, you're a special people. Most people can see there's something special about so-called black people. We're a special people. It's the special people that are the target. Always. No one ever targets anybody that's just average Joe, no big deal, doesn't really get noticed. The people that get targeted are the people who are the special ones. So it's obvious. Right. You know, all the mistreatments telling us that we're special.
Exactly.
You're telling us we're special.
Exactly.
Right? So the fact that the Bible backs it up shouldn't really be a surprise.
You know, sorry to cut you, because we want to get much questions in about the book, right? Yeah. What's your... Tell them your name again.
Davina.
All right, Davina. All right, I like to call you by the name. Davina, question to you. What is your favourite chapter in the book and why?
I think my favourite chapter would be taking back your freedom, because that's you know, you have the power to do that.
Absolutely.
You know, it's really about what you want to do. I think sometimes we're waiting to be put on the billboard by so and so, or waiting for Vogue magazine to say yes, and you know, Vanity Fair to say yes, and it's just like no, let us say yes. Let us say yes. And be empowered. Be empowered. You know, because it is something you will have. No one is going to hold your hand and do this. No. The fact is, I said to one sister who I was talking to, who wanted to get a book, because she bless her, she was giving me all the reasons she believed she needed to wear a weave. So she would go to the gym, take it off, put the weave back on, and then leave. And I was like, sweetie, we don't have to do that. She had all these reasons. I said, we have to realise that when we're choosing to believe this lie, we become a cash cow for lies. We become a cash cow for lies. Yeah? Most black women have become a cash cow for lies, because anything goes, we'll just believe it. Yeah. Because we haven't taken the time to study and do our research and empower ourselves. So no, Vogue is not going to say yes. No, because whoever it is, because they can see the lies working. So you know why? I want a nice house in the south of France. Thank you very much.
I do, you know.
You know.
As you know,
why would I stop and put you on a thing? Because you're going to believe
you're going to pay for that.
You're going to pay for that. Yeah. Why would I do anything to help you? I want my kids to go to private school.
I want a yacht.
You showed me that everything I say. You showed me that everything I say you believe. So I'm just going to keep doing it. It's business at the end of the day.
That's right.
So our sisters need to stop being a cash cow for lies and take our power back. We don't need to talk about being strong. We know we're strong deep down. We need that. Actually shown, because actions speak louder than words. Right, we don't need to talk about being strong. We just need to do it.
Okay,
that is it.
all right. But hold on, before we go any further, I'm going to ask you the same question, so you must think from now. All right. Okay. Oh, the number to get you through. Sorry, people, because my host on the radio is working so hard. She forgot to give you the number. Right.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. I forgive you again. All right. All right. Number to get you through, if you want to send a text or a WhatsApp, is 079 444 31366. And at the end of the show, you can actually go to YouTube, and put in Bless Radio 1, the number, and you can listen to the show again or whatever, because we're doing it that way so that people can get the information quickly. We're called trendsetter.
Yes,
you understand?
that's right.
Instead of you miss the show and you can't get the show again. Once it's gone, it's gone. But we decided to do a thing that once it's gone, we still have it there for you to get the information.
That's
right.
right.
079 444 31366. Now back to you. Oh yeah. Website www.blessradio.org, just in case you want to listen to it there. Question to you now. What's your favorite chapter in the book and why?
I think I would have to say chapter 4, what's love got to do with it? Because unless you understand, this whole issue comes down to love. You know, I want to see the love back in our community. I want, because I know that is the answer. And so all these issues we're having, whether it's police brutality, issues with self-love, there's this whole thing about the black man versus the black woman at the moment, and the black man and the black woman are at odds with each other. The hair issue, this, that, etc. It all comes down to we need to get back to loving. Until I'm telling you, until that happens, we could be talking about this for another 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Question. I got some nice questions for you. I know you like these kind of questions. This all that I want to all the man them in the hairdressers that styling it out like I don't know. I know. Right? Question to you. What's your opinion on men weave?
Oh gosh.
Right, because what some of the ladies don't know, they're looking for some man them with this nice Indian ear, so they can have a baby with a kind of nice, cool, light complexion and thing. But they don't realize that some of the men are wearing wigs now, which is glued onto their hair and then cut down to maybe a half an inch. So you don't even realize that it's a wig. It's so low, that you don't know it's a wig.
Ooh.
Right? So now they got the man them weave out there. So you might feel some of you ladies might see a brown skin brother and have a nice little coolie here like it perm, but it's not perm. And when you feel it, it's right on his head. So you know, yeah man, him here feel nice. And then next thing you know, you have a child by him and the child come out with black.
The original
my
hair.
natural woolly hair. And you don't know why.
That's the original.
So then you go now, bring your youth and say you want your youth to have straight hair, so you perm the youth and put the youth in a this and that. Now, do man them wear weave? Some of them wear wigs. Yeah, what you glue on your head. Have you heard about that, or are you familiar with that?
Somebody did say something about that. How it's going towards the men. It's
the
going
man
in
them is
that
busting
direction.
it hard in America now because they want the look what the not for the artists in America. They got this slick haircut, what they call slicks and whatever they want to call it. But everybody's copying these guys, and some of the man them who are bald now they can go to the hairdressers and get this thing glued onto their head and style it. It will last for about 6 months or so. You got to go and get the replacement glue.
Wow. So this hairstyle, it doesn't look like the original woolly hair.
Yes.
It
they
doesn't.
can have it. Yeah. No, it does.
Oh, it does. It looks just like our wool.
It's like a wool.
But it's just
they glue a wig. They will glue a wig on your head.
And the way how they cut it and style that thing,
proper woolly wig.
Where is it being sourced from?
America.
And where are they getting it from?
Well, you know,
I don't know where they get the woolly hair from.
Wherever they get the other hairs from.
You see, you have to be very, very careful. This is the thing. I think, again, we have to ask ourselves what's informing our choices. So are we doing this because it's, whenever you're doing something that can compromise your health, you have to be very, very careful and ask yourself whether it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because usually down the line, you come to regret it. On some level, you come to regret it. I don't know, unless you know where the hair's being sourced from. If it's being offered to strange gods that you don't worship, all these things, you have to be very, because think about it, someone's hair. This is someone who you don't know. And this is why often a lot of brothers, a lot of brothers say that unfortunately they struggle to find sisters with weave attractive because they find them, not all of them, but they have found many of them have a masculine sort of edge to them.
Because men grow their hair and sell their hair as well.
And I've watched a documentary and seen like men from a completely different race growing their hair long. These are quite old men. They've had their whole life to live. You don't know what diseases they've had. You don't know what experiences they've had. You don't know what gods they've worked. All this is in your hair. And then you buy it.
That's right.
Put it on you. Now, what are you?
Exactly.
What spirit
You take
have
it,
you
yeah,
now
that's
got
right.
on
You
you?
take
Well, but they
that.
believe that we talked about this a lot, but a lot of women don't believe that there is a spiritual attachment to the hair, and they believe
man.
also that they can pray over it and it will be all right. But some don't get the chance to pray over it. And I said, as I explained to my African queens out there, sometimes, as I said, we're not banning you, but we're making you be aware. If you've got a good hairdresser, she will tell you the truth and guide you through what you should use and what is safe for you. Ask questions. Don't just make them put anything on your hair, because you could have a man hair on your head.
But do they even
And
know
don't even
themselves?
They won't know.
No, but
That's
that's what I'm saying. They don't know.
won't know.
I
They
struggle
don't
to
know.
As far
believe.
as they're concerned, they've got bundles coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
That's
know,
all they
but
care about is what inch it is.
That's it.
What weft it is.
Yeah,
if
but
it's
they
wavy,
should
you know,
ask.
curly what.
But this is
They
going
should
back to
ask.
the
But
whole
they
love
don't
thing.
think- but they
This is
don't
going back to
ask.
the love thing was so important.
Yeah, but you can't get rid of the DNA.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You can't get rid of it. You can't get rid
You
of
can't
that
get rid of the
DNA.
DNA. What's in the
I
hair?
used to do
So
hairdressing.
It's in there.
Sorry to cut you. I used to do hairdressing.
it's all right. I used to.
And you cutting someone's hair, and the hair is sharp. If that person's hair actually gets into one of your pores, that hair is that blood is connecting to that hair,
Right.
and that person's hair is growing out of your pores.
Right.
Hold on, say that again.
So if you're cutting hair,
Whose hair?
anybody's hair,
Yeah.
Like hairdressers
Yeah.
go to cut
at the
hair.
hairdressers,
Yeah.
and when you cut it, the end is blunt.
Yeah.
So it's kind of not blunt, sharp. It's sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're using sharp scissors. It's sharp. Yeah. That if that hair gets embedded into one of your pores,
Yeah.
your blood supply starts feeding that hair.
Yeah.
And that hair starts growing out of your. That can
Wow, that's crazy.
Even if no matter who the hair belong to.
don't matter who the
Wow.
hair belongs to.
Wow.
So imagine now, if you, like I said, you're putting on a weave,
And
or
you have to cut
whatever.
the ends anyway, because they normally cut the
Yeah,
ends to
because
level
even
it
if
off.
you sew it and attach it and it's attached to you, that your blood flow is there, your scalp is there near your scalp.
Exact,
You're
of
feeding and it's going into your. Again, I'll give another example. I think it was last week I said it, and I'm gonna say it again. It's a bit embarrassing, but I don't care. I'm a
Yeah.
person that I would tell it because people have to hear this.
Yeah.
And it was years ago, so people don't judge me. I'm saying it again. You must have heard it before. I'm saying it again. We used to buy weaves back in the day,
Right.
and we weren't throwing them away. We're going to reuse them,
Really.
especially if it's good. It's not, and you paid some money for
Yes.
it. You wash it, you condition it, and you can use it
Use
again.
it again. Right.
I remember because me and my friend, we was like sisters anyway, so it was not a problem. She had her weave. She was taking it out. She weren't throwing it away. So all right then, wash it, whatever, condition it. Bam, I'm gonna do my hair and whatever the case may be. Done my hair in the weave. I laid it down, perfect, nice. You understand what I'm saying? Looking sharp, looking good. I intend to have this in for a few weeks and whatever the case may be. Boy, you see, by the time I finished doing that weave and the night time came, when I said this almighty burning that started to take place in my scalp, I thought I was going mad. My scalp was on fire. I scratched this thing, I scratched this thing, I patted it, I banged it, I did all kinds of stuff. I said, no, I've just done my weave. I'm not taking this weave out.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Because this weave looks bad.
There's an investment.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the flattest I've laid this down, because I took my time to cane roll it flat so that the weave lays flat, so it looks like my own. You leave some of it out, and I weren't taking it out. But this thing was burning me.
Oh my god.
I washed it because I thought, if I wash it, it would have burned. No, it wasn't happening. I had to take that thing. I nearly cut it out. That means I would have cut off all my hair. And my hair was long, and I would have cut off all my hair. Do you understand? That's how desperate I was to get this thing out of my head.
Yes.
Yeah. Gosh. And then when I treated my scalp, I washed it and treated my scalp. That was the last time I ever put weave in my head. Never mind somebody else's.
That's it.
Whoever friend, sister friend, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? That was the worst experience I've ever had. Never, ever again. And then I started to learn about the hair and where it's coming from, and etc. and etc. Never again.
And this is the thing. I want our sisters to think. I mean, we've gone to events and sisters said to us, "Oh, but they wash their hair and they clean it." And I'm like, "Sweetie, why would they do that?
Yeah.
Why would they do that for you?
Yeah.
Why? What has made you think they'll do that for you? I just.
Yeah.
Oh wow! It's something about thinking things through a bit more. It's like
they don't. But
we don't need to go into the history, but let's face it, the track record isn't good.
Yeah.
So why would they say something in 2018 clean your weave? Do you know what I mean? It's like we really need
They
to
tell you
think
to wash
through.
it before you use it, isn't
Do
it?
they?
And then when you wash it, do you see what comes off of it? Have you seen what comes off of it?
I
my
can
God.
only imagine.
No, you want to see what comes off of it.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of horrible
You
stuff left
understand?
behind still.
Even the synthetic, when they tell you to wash it before or do something before you put it in your hair, and when you wash that thing and you see what comes off of it,
damn.
it's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
It's
but when your hair
nasty.
Island, look at this wonderful weather we're having now. Today.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh man!
And you start
That's
sweating.
all I gotta say.
And your pores are open,
Listen.
and all of that chemicals is gone.
Listen.
When I used to perm my hair, when I used to relax my hair, every single time I relaxed my hair after a few years, I used to get excruciating headaches.
Really?
Excruciating headaches. And I said, all right then, maybe it's not the perm.
Yes.
Let me go on to the
Yeah.
next,
You look for
6
another-
weeks
yes.
later, 8 weeks later, let me go and check it. And every single time I did, I had excruciating headaches. And I knew those chemicals were leaching into my system. And I started to feel sick. I started to get really ill. You understand what I'm saying? I said, until I cut with my hair as low as yours, Davina, I just cut it off one day. I said, I cut it all off. Yes. And I'm telling you, you said, instantly, I just felt this thing. I literally felt this thing lift off of my shoulders.
Oh my gosh! You had it
I
too.
instantly felt it's like something just raised off of my
the
shoulders.
spirit of the person, the spirit of the person's
Spirit
gone.
Released it.
Instantly came up, and I looked in the mirror, and for once, for how many years of having a perm, I saw me.
You saw you.
I saw my mum, my dad, my sister, my brother, my auntie, my uncle, my cousins, my children. I saw all of my generations in me.
Yes.
And I said, my God, you mean to tell me that thing was blocking all of that?
It's deep.
It is deep, because I know exactly what you're talking about. Now let's go on to the false nails, because it all goes together. Because if you don't have the long weaves and there's long nails, and I used to have them.
Yeah.
Listen to me, I love them. Oh God, I love them. Every colour, every design, sparkle, you name it, glitter, I had it all. And then what started to happen, my body started to reject it. So that means it would lift off if I put it on. So I'm spending big money, and then within a couple of days, it's lifting off. So I'm going back to the nurse and she's like, what's going on? Your products is not working. What's going on? It wasn't the products, it was my body rejecting it. But again, every single time I had it, I was feeling sick. I started to feel sick, and I started to say, let me just check this out. And you see, as soon as I removed them, that was it.
That's it, you're free.
Free.
Right. One thing I've realised as well, which a lot of our sisters are going for real hair, real Indian hair, and all these real Brazilian hair, right? Yeah. Now, I know people like Indian people, Brazilian people, I work around them. What I also know about them is that they have to, by law, wash their hair every week. And some of the people have got this hair on their head, and because it's sewn in, they cannot wash it every week.
No. Some don't wash it for
No,
months.
this is common sense, what I've seen. Because once the hair has been sewn in, I know about all of this stuff, because I used to do these kind of hairdressing things, so I know. So I know about all the gluing and everything, and the sewing and everything. So normally the times, they leave their hair in for about 6 weeks, a month. So roughly about a month, they leave their hair in, then they take it out after a month. But by law, I've never been anywhere where any European or anybody with that kind of hair has left it for a week without washing it. You cannot do it. And if there's men out there that has European girlfriends or whatever, you know what I'm saying. They wash their hair every night.
Yes, they do. They do.
Because
a lot of them do.
because of what goes into their hair.
Yeah.
So when our sisters put this on their head, can they wash their hair every night?
No.
Can you wash your hair every week?
No.
What's going to happen at the end of the month?
That's the thing.
There you go.
That's the thing. And
Right.
this is what we talk about in the book. Your hair isn't getting access to light and oxygen.
Right. So
That's
obviously,
right.
as I said, we didn't, and we know a lot of the hairdressers didn't. We ain't gonna like this conversation.
Well,
but there
This
is,
is about
you know what I mean.
loving our
As long as they
community.
educate their customers and so
Yeah.
we know about the hair, but this, that, and that is that, and
They've got to
educate
make their
them. Get some
living, isn't it?
education about this thing. But
You know, sharing is loving. If you don't share, you're not loving.
Yeah, that's
What we're
right.
missing our community love.
But remember,
Right.
money talks.
yes.
Right,
And
but
they're gonna-
exactly. And if money trumps love, we'll just stay in this situation.
Yeah, that's right.
You got a big shout goes out. Bless up to you, lady, for Davina and Tracy from Audley.
Audley.
Right? Yeah, Audley is one of the brothers that does London City exposure, and he's part
Hi,
of the
Audley.
yeah. Them and there's part of the Blessed team. We're working together now build another platform for the community. So this is what Bless is about: building.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
one of our role model is Marcus Garvey, obviously, and His Majesty's teaching and the Bible. Why the Bible? You don't have to be a Christian to read the Bible.
No,
you don't have to be a Muslim to read the Quran. You know what I mean? As the book says, seek ye wisdom and seek most of all understanding. But wisdom is not going to be in one place. So you have to look like you're looking for silver and gold. And if you're looking for silver and gold, you're not going to look in one place. You're going to go and look in different places. So that's what it is. So outside Audley and London City Exposure. Right. Give us some... All right, we've done all that. A simple green juice recipe. Now these things are the things in the book, yeah, people.
Yeah.
So most of the questions I'm asking the ladies is from the book. Yeah, so basically in the contents, there's some things in the contents. So I'm asking, so when you see me asking some of these questions, these are actually some of the contents in the book, which one of them is a simple green juice recipe, which is a very, very important thing. And a lot of people don't talk about the green juice and how it connects to your hair. So even though you have this artificial hair on your head, you need to know about this green juice recipe that is feeding your real antenna underneath that. So tell us a bit more about the green juice recipe, both of you.
Okay, yeah, so I probably should go. My name's Tracy, so I put that in the book. I've got a certificate in cell level nutrition, so cellular nutrition, where you just look at how to nourish the cells in order to get regeneration.
Yeah.
And I think we've come so far from natural nutrition. I mean, if you just look at what's in our supermarkets, a lot of the time, you know, people don't, they're not really feeding their cells.
They're eating people. People are eating people.
I tell you, the choices that we're making on a nutritional level are crazy, and we don't realise how fundamental it is to get our greens. Like, okay, I'm going to go back to the Bible. I'm going to go back.
Genesis
now, when
1.
you go to Genesis 1, 29,
and the herbs of the
you
field.
know, and you see this. And in other places, I mean, when you read the book of Daniel, I think, is it Daniel 12, where he did a detox, didn't he?
He had his fast, that's right.
And he was just eating raw vegetables. Listen, I know about this stuff, and trust me, people, this works.
Yeah.
I put it in the book because I've learnt so much about natural nutrition over nearly 20 years, and the ultimate about natural nutrition is the greens and what the greens are intended to do for our body. They are so powerful.
Yeah, that's right.
A lot of people don't know that they can eat a lot of their greens raw. They don't know
that's
they can
right,
eat their
yes.
spinach
Raw,
raw, and
yeah.
their kale raw,
Yeah.
and these things.
Even broccoli's
Swiss
nice as well.
chard.
Broccoli's nice
These
raw.
things are so. We've been putting so much rubbish into our bodies. It's time to clean house. A huge part of, I think, what made me feel confident about cutting my hair so low was because I put a lot of energy and time into self-care.
Yeah.
In terms of nutrition, I've been doing it for years. So, you know, I mean, the green juice, what it does for your skin is just unparalleled.
Yeah, but you've got to drink it. Don't rub
You
it on
know?
your skin, yeah?
No. You drink it and it will go where it needs to go. It's do what it needs to do, and just it's amazing for your skin, for your nails. Another thing that gave me confidence is I do quite a bit of exercise.
Yeah.
You know, so we're very real with our sisters. We're not, you know, if you're not feeling particularly attractive, and I understand that, then we just have to look back and see what sort of choices we're making in terms of our lifestyle. You know, are you getting your greens? Greens are the original food.
Yeah.
So when you see a bunch of kale, and you see an orange, and you see bananas, and think that's the mainstay of your diet, it's harder to have the confidence to naturally be yourself when you're not taking care of other aspects. Because, you know, look at the models, okay, look at the TV actresses, top nutritionists that they've got, exercise program that they've got, you know,
and plastic surgeons.
Oh, then of course plastic surgeons.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, but you know, you see these people, it's part of their lifestyle to take care of themselves, and we're not again really in that space.
No,
you know,
exactly.
when you think of health and well-being and exercise and things like that, you don't really think of our people, do you?
You don't. I think sometimes a lot of black girl sisters can be like, oh, my hair's not straight, so there's no point exercising. But we have to remember, sisters, women of other races have straight hair, and they're in the body pump class. They're in yoga. They're in Pilates. if having straight hair was the only thing a lady needed for beauty, she would sit on her couch and eat chips all day.
All day, that's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah? Health is holistic. It's holistic. You have to work on every part of it.
That's right, yeah.
You know, it's just how it is.
But then do you think that it was programmed that way so that the sisters don't go to the gym?
I have thought of that. I have wondered.
You do wonder, don't you? You do wonder.
I have to be honest, because I'm real, and my eyes are open to what's going on.
Yeah.
Because when you're excluded from the beauty spaces, it's well, why bother then? Because I'm not there anyway. So yeah, quite possibly, I wouldn't rule anything out.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I'll say to our sisters is, you know, we have a kind of a natural definition. You know, our body shape is different from that of other races, and we don't even really need to do that much to get a natural. All we actually have to do for the most part is, you know, just be regular.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're doing something like, just be consistent. If you're doing like move every day as far as possible, 25 minutes, just find a bit of road and just walk. Get down on the on your living room floor, spread a mat, and do some tummy exercise. Everything's online for free. You don't even have to go to a gym, right? Just go onto YouTube. There's so many thousands of exercise programs. Like, just put anyone on. Today I'm going to do 25 minutes doing my tummy. Tomorrow I'm just going to go for a walk. Day after that I might go for a little jog. The next day I'm going to do a walk. Oh, then we have to, because these are things that we're not. Brothers are actually very good at this. It's funny, again, brothers are actually very good at this.
Yeah, but then they don't have that much pressure as such.
I tell you, the sisters...
and again, we want to be spoon-fed. We want it easy. No one wants to do their research on... Because with me and my son... what's the time? Oh, sorry, time. Okay, we've got a few. What, 7 minutes? 8 minutes? So we've got 8 minutes to wrap it up. Anyway... I'll leave it as that. We'll just say me and my son will sit down and we'll plan menus. Wow. My son will plan his exercise routine. You understand what I'm saying? And they normally try and put me through their paces and stuff like that. You know, so we plan. I taught them because I'm qualified diet and nutritionist, non-medical. So we, what I did with them, would plan menus to make it easier for them when they're doing their training, so they know exactly what to do. And so they've taken that on board. You understand what I'm saying? Even though I've dropped off a bit, I'm getting back on this. So I drop off every now and then, and then I get back on it. But they don't take that time to do that. They just want it spoon-fed. Yes. But you have to take that time to do that. And once you've done the preparation, where it becomes easier after that.
It becomes easier. Again, it's self-education.
Yeah.
Okay.
Self-education.
All right, so we're going to sum up the thing because we're coming up to the closure of the show.
God, that went so quickly.
No, because we're going to come to because obviously this show can go on very long, and it's very interesting. And as I said, we don't mean to offend anybody, but as the scripture said, the truth will set you free. And either you accept the truth or you don't. Either you want to be free or you don't. You understand what I'm saying? It's your life, and as the Most High give you a free will to choose to do what you want to do.
That's right.
That means whatever is done is your will be done, not thy will.
That's right.
So you have a choice. It's either thy will be done or your will be done, but you are free to make the choice.
That's right,
of whichever way you want to choose.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Make
saying?
the best choice for
so it's up to
life.
you. You understand? It's your life. God has given you this vessel, and you have the freedom to do what you want to do, but you can choose whichever path you want. But at the end of the day, there is rules and regulations there so that we don't fall into the snares, what's on the road, and the spiritual traps that are there. So when people looking at the Bible and say we're trying to bring this back, it's another Bible thing. No, when I look at the Bible is like, it's just guiding you of the dangers of what is out there. Yeah. And if you look at it from that point of view and learn from the experience from what other people has been through and what they've done, then we'll know, well, when Daniel did this, that happened. When so forth did that happened. So obviously there's consequences. For what we eat, what we drink, and what we say.
Absolutely.
You understand? And also what we do with our hair. Because your hair, Jesus Christ or Yeshua was a Nazarene. Yeah. And the Nazarene vow says that no razor shall come upon your head. Yeah. And it says a woman's beauty, a crown, a covering is her hair.
Yes.
Yeah. The Bible tells you that your covering is your hair. Your hair is also an antenna, right, which helps you to connect to the universe. as well. So there's so much things we can go into. So as a closing message, closing statement from you, my dear.
Yes, just power to our sisters and, love to our community, and let's really work on getting that back.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'd say the same,
No, you can't say the same.
Brothers
She
and
said
sisters.
it.
All right, I was trying to put a tweak on it. I say, brothers and sisters, we love you. We come in love. All this is just love, okay? We have to tell you the truth because it's the truth that will set you free. It really will set you free. Do the research. Find out who you are. Find out what happened and how to get freedom from it. It's imperative.
Mm-hmm. Pearlz.
I second everything.
No,
that
you
Davina
cannot say
and
what they
Tracy
say.
has said.
You see? You have to say you pick up your...
Love.
Love.
Yeah. What have I been? What we've been speaking about on here a lot.
Yeah.
We've been speaking about love. No, but love.
Love.
As
Love
well.
is the ultimate power.
Love.
And that means loving yourself and loving your hair.
Yeah.
And as my sister said in the beginning, God created everything, put man on the earth, and then he turned around and said, it is good.
It's just
Come on.
Now, from
And
you
then when
being-
he met the woman, he said, it is very good.
Where you get that from?
In the Bible,
What?
he said it's very good.
When you met the woman, it was
He
very
said,
good.
yes, he said it was very
So
good.
man was just good.
Yeah,
And
but
woman
we was very good.
Well then, if I could look at it and say, yeah, when God met man, it was good. But then when you look at the Queen and say, yeah,
Exactly, that's very good.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
Adam don't know.
Because if Adam didn't look at it and say it was very good, he would have looked at the cow and the sheep and the dog and then say, maybe that's as good. But he made us
Absolutely.
very good.
Come on.
Yeah.
Speak it, sis.
All right, you go on.
Speak it.
And
Yeah.
I amen to that. All right.
Hallelujah.
So, people, we thank you for your time. We were keeping it real today. And this is the show called
Pearls of Wisdom.
Pearls of
show.
Wisdom, where we share the wisdom and hopefully they drop some pearls so that you
Yes.
can actually find your way through the dark and into the light.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the book is called Before We Become Extinct. How do I get, not I, how do uno, otherwise
Mm-hmm.
you in the Queen's language, how do you get the confident to wear your natural woolly hair? And the key word here is confident.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
stand up and be strong and just be who you are. Sometimes some people are who the boss man wants to be because they need to fit in. But what you don't realize is we don't no longer have to fit in.
No.
We are already in.
In.
You understand?
We are
but
it.
Yeah, we are it.
everything.
We are it.
All.
So we don't need to fit in anything. We are already in. You understand? And once you're in and you become natural, you're going to see other people around, you're going to start copy you. But you're not being you, and they are being you, and they're going here and there and they get the best suntan and all of this and that, not being racist or nothing. But there's so many people that want to have what you have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can I say today, can I just let me just drop that in today? I was at my children's school.
Absolutely.
And a lady, I love her to bits. Nowhere, we do things at the school, and she sat down, and she said, "Oh, I can't stand this weather. It's just too hot." And she's burning. She's going red. And I'm saying, so you got to be careful, because she's had little like pimples on everything. I said, "What are you putting on it?" She said she puts olive oil on it, and that's it. She doesn't put anything else on there.
So
'cause
she's frying herself.
Yeah, no. She said, "I want to be brown." She said,
course
"Well,"
she
and
does.
she said, "Well, some people, they don't have to do that because they're already born that way." And I said, "Yeah, that's right."
it, original.
So I said to her, "Try cocoa butter. That might help."
Yeah.
She goes, "What? To get brown?" I said, "Yeah, try it. Try it."
Yeah,
try
but they
it."
also got the melanin injection.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
And they also have cafes in America where you can get melanin tea. You understand?
gosh.
Right.
So where they harvesting all that melanin
They
from?
will, yeah, we know where it comes from.
Yeah.
But the main thing is at the end of the day, be who you are created to be. Because our children look up to us as role models. And if they see that we don't like the way we're created and we're showing them, no, this is good, then they're going to look at themselves and be not confident.
Absolutely.
Right. And we are teaching our children to not be confident in who they are, but to be confident how everybody else is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it says to be confident to wear your woolly hair, ladies, I guarantee, I ask you to challenge this book and don't wear weave for a week. Let's see how much confidence you have. As I said, test the spirit and know say it's good.
That's right.
Yeah. So if you feel that you are strong enough, and if you feel that this weave or all this stuff doesn't affect you, and I'll be attacked, I've been wearing my weave for 20 years and it hasn't affected me, well then I would ask you, I'll give you a challenge to don't wear it for 1 week. 1 week and walk street. Don't wear it and stay in your yard. Don't go come with that. Walk street. Go amongst your friends. Go and do what you normally do with your natural hair. And you see the difference. And tell me how much confidence you have, or do you have to run back and put it on just like Dracula can't come out into the sun. I left my case there. And like I was sunny now, and that hair is sweating, and me know it already, you know. Cardboard or umbrella. Yeah, in the sun, you have to walk with umbrella. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful world we're living in. Anyway, that's it. I rest my case. And I enjoyed this show because I love talking about weave and hair. I do. Right. And I do because I love you all. And I know what it's done to some of my people. And I've seen people go mad. And I've seen people have spiritual attacks. And I've seen so many things that's happened because of this weave. Yeah, and I've seen man that lose their girl because of weave. And man can't even give his girl a hug at night because of weave. You understand? So when we men sit down and reason, you don't know what we're thinking about. And I'm sharing it with you. That's why I'm giving you the information, because you don't know what's going through our minds. We really want you natural. We really do. But because we want you to be happy, we leave you to do what you do, because we want you to be happy too. It's not all about us. It's about you. If our wife and our queens are not happy, then they won't make us happy. So we accept certain things, but you know, every good thing comes to an end. All right? So.
All right, so, brother.
Right. So, people, thank you very much. Thank you, sisters, for coming in. Remember the book, Before We Become Extinct. You can get it on Amazon and all the other thing. You can Google it and you can find it. And it's a cheap book still. So just get the book. And even
cheap as in value, the price, but it's not a cheap book as in wisdom and knowledge.
No, it's cheap book to purchase. And even if you don't want the book, let your daughters read the book. You know what I mean? It's something that you just put there. Somebody will pick it up in your family, even if to buy it for them and let them read it, because the writing's not very small. It's got coloured pictures in it. You know what I mean? It's got certain little things in that you can give your 13, 14-year-old daughter to read before she decides she wants good hair.
My 8-year-old is reading it. She's been reading it.
Yeah.
So from there, she's been reading it.
All right, and it tells you about the castor oil plant. I forgot that is a good thing. Castor oil. It tells you about the plant and how it nourishes your hair. And a lot of you are going to wash your hair under the tap. I leave you with this, under the tap, and it's making your hair dry because of the chlorine in the tap water is tearing your hair out. I have a solution. You get a shower filter. Yeah, you can buy them on the internet. They got them in silver and white, and they screw onto your shower, but you have to get an extension for it. They're about £12-15. You wash your hair with that, it will not make your hair dry and shrink, and it's only £10-15 for it. Put it on your shower head, wash your hair with that, your hair will remain in its good form. All right, so people, adios, take care, and as I said, be good, and if you can't be good,
be kind.
No, if you can't be good, you have a problem.
Oh, if you can't. If you can't. Yeah, you have a problem if you can't be good. Yes.
It's true, though. It's true, isn't it?
Yes, it is true.
You don't have a problem, do you?
No, I don't have no problems.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay, just checking.
I'm very good.
Checking if you're good.
I'm good.
All right, so people, adios. Bless radio out of here. Oh, the bell ring by itself. Oh, it's a bit late now, the bell work, isn't it? Late. But bless people. All right.
Singing.